Well, we're talking about cues, but why don't we just we'll say hi twice to start the show. It's Anthony here, getting our podcast. It's been quite a while. It's been over a month, actually nearly 2 months. So, background, honestly, it's been busy, very busy, and I think everyone would speak on this behalf of this year. What's going on around the world? I think people have put their head down, bum up to get some goals achieved. I have personally. And I bet at work it's been pretty busy coming up to the lead up to the end of financial year. But here we are. It's July. It's fucking freezing. And in my abode of a dining room, I have Steve, is what I call Fuzz, here with me. So you already know he's here because you heard him in the start. How you going, mate?
Not too bad. Back. Good to be back.
Good to be back. Yeah, we just did a trip at King's Weekend. We can't call it Queen's Weekend anymore.
It feels so weird calling it Kings. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's like... Well, that's one of my first. I was talking to my other mate. It was my first camping trip. I went with the boys in 2013, full driving, and that was a bit of an introduction. That Queen's Weekend, I went in a dome tent in a sleeping bag that was rated to 10 degrees, and in the Victorian High Country, Lake Eildon, -3, and a lot to learn. I didn't even have an air bed. I had like one of those, like a yoga mattress as an air mattress, and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit sophisticated here 2026 when we went. I followed your lead, and as much as I tried to say, let's go Craig's Hut or something, chase some snow, I was very curious of a place called Huggett's Crossing that you took me to.
Yeah, a place I've been to quite a few times through my, I suppose, family. We've enjoyed it. It's been a good family sort of place and not far from where we've been before. So I was just like, I just wanted you to check it out and go from there.
So Huggett's Crossing, would you say it's about 2.5 hours from Melbourne, north-east of the Glen Maggie, that lake?
I'd call it right-hand side of Glen Maggie Lake, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like where we go, Paradise Valley, once a year. Mm-hmm. It's literally a
left-hand side of Glen Maggie.
Yeah, other side of Glen Maggie. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, like... Yeah, we know we go on an annual trip with our friends once a year, but my trip was cut short. You went with your family that year. I was supposed to come, but unfortunately had an emergency with the old dog to go home to. So this was a good chance to actually have a look at where we went. And yeah, it was a beautiful crossing. I did put some photos up a month ago, but we'll put some more up. But like you drive down and there's a campsite, and there was a lot of, like you were just saying, there's a lot of motorbikes there. Like people with motorbikes camping there.
Yeah, there's always been bike riders there. I mean, when I've gone up, I've gone to take the bike up, but I've seen plenty of bike camps, I suppose, like 30 riders cruise in and then they cruise out. This time we saw basically, 80, 90% of the camp were set up for people there to ride.
Felt like Dale Kerrigan. I smell that in the air. 2-stroke.
Yeah,
but it was like they were respectful, and they were just doing their thing. They weren't minging it out in the campground. They were sort of just crossing the river and then going up from there. It was pretty cool. So but when you walk down, you see this beautiful lake and you see the big rock formations, and it was quite amazing. Surprisingly, we were in like t-shirts at that point. It was warm.
Yeah.
It was sunny. It was the most abnormal weekend we ever had in the high country because it was clear, sunny. It was cold, but I'm not like bone-chilling cold.
Nah, it's good. Yeah, it's got a good little swimming spot out there. That's what we enjoy for the family because you can go out. There's no rocks. It's pretty much sand. There's a jumping point where you can jump off something, pretty high. I'm not sure on numbers, but yeah, a good jump. And you don't touch the bottom. And yeah, it's good to hang out there. And always been relatively quiet.
Yeah. It'd be really cool if you could camp right on the river there at that point where we walked up to where you can jump off. You could, but it'd be like a bit of an adventure drive in there.
Yeah. I've had a guy I know drive up most that way in an 80 series. That was entertaining.
Yeah. And then, we had we used an app, New Tracks, for the first time. I did.
Yeah.
We didn't have any paper maps, which I'm usually a bit special and have it, but I couldn't find anything at the shops at the time. It was quite scarce for paper maps. So I downloaded the app New Tracks and I used the free version of it for a while. And it took us to a few tracks north of Huggett's Crossing, I believe. I think it was a lower. I'm just looking on my phone now. It was a lower block track, and we went through a lot of river crossings.
Yeah, I guess it's good for that, and that's why I wanted to take you, because it's got quite a few river crossings that, yeah, some are more challenging than others, but yeah, it was ever changing. So I'll see how we went.
That's probably one of the best tracks I've ever driven. It was, some of the ones that you said that were going to be deep were quite shallow, and then the ones that I thought were going to be shallow after the shallow ones were quite deep, where I was actually filming, and then I just went in and all the parking sensors were going off like crazy. I'm like, oh shit. But it was fun, like it was safe, it wasn't nothing wrong.
Well, I mean, last time I went through that deep river crossing was over the bonnet on my Colorado.
Yeah, and you were telling me about
and that was fine this time, so I was like, no, we're good. This is like, and then the long one that's usually 300-400 mil was actually a lot deeper. And
yeah, like, exactly.
Okay, that caught me off guard, but yeah, ever changing.
But the new tracks gave us like it shows the map on your phone and it shows where you are, even you got no reception. And then it says like there's huts here, there's this, that, there. Like we went to look for a hut off that track near the Avon track, and it says there was a hut there, and we're like, oh, let's go drive. So we drove to the hut. It was about from where we were, it was an hour return at least. When we turned off to go to the hut.
Yep.
But old mate on the way to the hut was about, we were a couple of k's to the hut, and he goes, mate, there's no hut there. It's been burnt down for 2 years. I'm like, oh, okay. So these maps don't actually update you of the status of the hut. Like you can put some feedback notes in it. Surely someone has, but it was interesting. But we still drove there, and it was some pretty cool. That was actually a pretty cool view there.
Yeah, exactly.
And we went there and we stopped there for a minute and sort of said, all right, where are we going to go next? There was no phone reception. We didn't have Starlink. And I don't think... It was more like, all right, let's find a camp. We always said we're going to go back to Huggett's Crossing if we had to, but that would have been quite a trek back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, our style of camping is head in a direction and go from there.
Yeah.
See where we end up.
There's always a way out.
Well, we could camp on the side of the road for all we care.
Yeah, well, you've got your 270 awning, I've got a 270 awning. And swags. We've got all that camping stuff. We're quite mobile. And that was good because we didn't really have a map thing to say we have to be here at this time or else. It was...
That's our style. For a boys' weekend where it's just like, here's our direction, let's see where we end up. It gives us freedom to go wherever, which is, for that kind of weekend, good. Different, obviously, with family and kids, but yeah.
And also we kept within the car's capabilities.
Yeah, I don't think anything was too extreme out that direction. That's why I got my winch.
I know, but we didn't have the winch to get at it.
Yeah. I mean, and the weather was good, so it wasn't, any crazy slippery terrain to worry about.
No.
And yeah, I knew that wouldn't be an extreme condition to take you out in.
No.
So we could enjoy it. So that's why I was just like, yeah, let's give this a shot, have a look, put it on your list of maybe we go to next time.
And no word of a lie, that was our first trips in February last year. We normally try to get out every 6 months minimum.
Yeah, try and get away for at least a weekend or something.
But this has been chaos with work and life and whatnot.
Yeah, life gets in the way of things, unfortunately. But
yeah,
well, yeah.
And that's the thing I was saying with people like, oh, you have to. You forgive yourself and say, no, maybe this time I can't, or this time I can. But you just find a way next time, and that's what we did. We found a weekend that worked, and King's weekend worked, and we saw no one on the tracks. There was only once we had to really pull over and let someone through.
Yeah, and there was old mate. We saw the local at the end of the trip there, but yeah, relatively quiet.
Well, the 3 cars we saw, we moved out of the way for, where people with private properties closer to the vicinity just going for a bit of a hunt or showing their mates around.
Even going through and someone's private property, we didn't see anyone.
No. So New Tracks said, go this way to this particular position. We're like, cool. Well, we want to make our way towards. We just want to find somewhere to camp. It was about 2:00 in the afternoon. Sun goes down at 5:30, 6:00, especially in the high country. And we're like, let's just find somewhere to camp. We're just following an area where we can go. I think at that point we're just going to pull up anywhere there was a camp, but at the same time, somewhere we can just go in the morning, pack up, and just get home because we had things to do the next day. But we weren't in a rush. It was just easy to get out.
Yeah,
you don't want to have to go through bog holes just to get out of camp sometimes. Not my style personally. I like to get home. Just you leave the adventure for that one day for a one-nighter. And we were going down the road, and the track said, go down Huggett's Road to get back to Huggett's Crossing. I'm like, all right, well, let's go back and camp there. We'll camp the night. We know where it is. We'll go home next day. But we were driving through, and it said there was a gate open. It said private property, no shooting.
No, something else. Yeah.
No, something else. But there was no shooting. No camping, no shooting. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that. Where we're like, okay, we're not shooters, but anyway, it's private. Let's ignore it. Let's
we
leave it.
The Google Maps told us to go that way, but also New Tracks did, and we're like, well, wait a minute. What are we going to do? And we just went, all right, we'll go through. It looked like it was only for about 2 kilometres, and we thought, if anyone pulls us up, we'll just say, hey, we're respecting your property.
Yeah.
We're not shooters. We're just trying to get the fuck out of here.
Just passing through. I was fully expecting to meet someone, just go, look, sorry, mate, maps told us. We're just trying to just get somewhere to camp.
Yeah.
And hopefully they understood.
And, well, lo and behold, I think they did, because we ended up at the other end of that private property. We went up this massive hill along the fence line, down another fence line, and we actually we made it to a main road, I believe it was Huggett something road.
Yeah,
but there was that, where we ended up, we drove into a camp, what could have been a campsite.
Yeah, surrounded by other, gates to private properties.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're just boxed in by private properties here.
Yeah, well, we're driving down, and we passed so it's Matt Hendrick, walk car park. And it was just a car park where you park, where you're going to go for a walk. And we're going, oh, well, this is an option. But we kept going down the road towards Huggett's.
Yeah, being early enough, we're like, I wonder if we can get better. We'll just have a look. Yeah.
Anyway, we got there, and we see road closed, private road only. And we're just going, shit, this is silly.
So we veered up here. And
but then I saw a 79, and there was an old mate in the 79. He goes, mate, this is all private property after this time. I said, mate, we just want to camp somewhere. Where do you recommend? He goes, I got somewhere. So I called Steve on the radio, told him the situation or who I met, blah, blah, blah. And we're driving up, and he took us to the same car park that we actually passed and said, this is an option. He goes, mate, this is probably the best bet. And we went, okay, cool. And it was easy to get in and out of.
Yeah, it wasn't anything bad. We just thought, I wonder if we can get better, and just, we're done.
Yeah.
Done for the day. We'll call it.
We're looking like a river edge
campsite.
Yeah, we actually camped where it was. Had beautiful views of the mountaintops. I wouldn't say like those, edge cliff camping.
Or riverside camping, which we enjoyed.
And we were like, all right, let's camp here. So we, both got chainsaws out. Mine was blunt. Cut us some firewood. You made
backwards,
a fire.
But same.
Yeah. Chain was installed backwards. Thanks. We went up. We cut firewood. You made a fire. I got dinner ready. We just set up our camp, and we cooked dinner. And we didn't see any cars except for one that actually said later in the morning, went for a walk and said, mate, we wanted the camp here too. And I said, well, why don't you pull up? Well, we're in a massive car park. There's like two guys. So we even had spare.
I understand, but at the same time, you rock up. You don't expect to just crowd someone to go, do you mind camping here?
Yeah.
No, nice enough.
But if you said, hey, well, this is what we're doing, I was like, who cares? Well, we're asleep by the fire at 8:30 anyway.
Yeah, old man,
exactly. But no, we went to the butcher. We had a roast beef. We cooked it on the stove over the fire and cooked some veggies up, and we made a massive fire. Well, I wouldn't say massive, but it was a decent sized fire for two of us.
Big by some standards, yeah. Small by others. Depends on your standards, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes we travel with friends, and that would have been a bonfire that you would have had, the college football celebrations with. But another story. We ended up we both fell asleep on our chairs and went swagged it up for the night in our individual swags, so we didn't camp together.
Wasn't a broke-back trip.
No. And we were lucky to have like a really clear night, but a really sunny morning. We cooked breakfast and we made our way home. But like that area I don't think anyone knows that area. Where we were, there was no one there. There was some great tracks, and we didn't see one car there on a long weekend.
Or a bike, considering how many bike riders we saw.
Yeah. I think we pulled up for 2 motorbike riders, and one was broken down.
Yeah, we did come across 3 who flooded his bike or something, and just
You're itching to help him.
Yeah, well, look, you see someone in need of help.
Wait, you did offer, didn't you?
Yeah, I offered, and he's like, "No,
that's
we're just
right."
Like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anyone stranded.
No.
And it's like a bike rider. Oh, cool, I'm jealous, but at the same time, mate, I've got tools. Whatever you need, I can probably help you.
You're a driving Swiss Army knife, my friend. It's handy to have.
Well, that's
wait. What was
it's a work car.
Would you bring in the trip just in case?
Well, last time I checked out Huggett's Crossing, there was signs saying that it was not looked after anymore, and I knew the grass was going to be long. I had room in my car. I got my still whippersnipper next to my chainsaw, like just in case. Then we'd have the best campsite.
That's the best thing about still chainsaws and whippersnippers. It's all the same 50-to-1 ratio, and they're full on 2-stroke. So I looked in your car and I'm like, is that a fucking whippersnipper? You're like, yeah.
Look, if we had
grass.
We've had campsites before that were overgrown. It's just like, I can afford a whippersnipper in the back of my car. I'll throw it in the back of the ute.
Why not? They'd trust me. We've been at campsites before where you want to grab the whippersnipper out, or
Exactly. So I packed it, so I didn't need it.
Or you got a machete or 3 or 4 in your car sometimes.
Victorian laws say I can't have anything like that.
Oh, you're.
I have a competition chopper in there, which I made, but that's not a machete.
That's not a machete. Well, you dumped them in one of those $30 million bins, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not taking my knives.
So they could see me. Yeah, that's another topic for another day, I guess. But just.
That's right. You're not in St. Albans going robbing down tobacco shops or anything.
Well, the only people who actually put knives in those bins were people who were legitimate people, say farmers, agricultural people. It's just like they were a waste of money and poorly made. I say that as a
bit of scare tactics,
enthusiastic welder, but yeah.
Really pissed off with my knife at how the way it came out. Not satisfactory. It's going into the donation bins.
It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm happy with my last couple.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, no comment. No, you do make, you have all made it a sort of a knife to have in our campsite equipment, which has been very handy. It's your bit of a passion project, isn't it?
It's a hobby. I don't know. How do you describe addiction? People collect handbags. I like knives. Yeah. I like them practically. I like them as sharp tools, not weapons.
I got a lot of coffee paraphernalia in here.
Yeah, like I don't know, like how do people like what they're enthusiastic about?
Oh, it's like people say, I like scotch. Good. You like scotch? You have that expensive scotch. Oh, I like coffee. I got a good coffee machine.
Yeah.
You like knives? You make your own knives. You don't exactly buy expensive ones, but you just make them.
Yeah, I got
expensive spec.
I got a few.
Just a few.
Depends on what you mean by a few. If you're talking in beer numbers.
Who's listening? No, but in serious, you sent me the YouTube videos of the guys you follow on YouTube who make those things.
Yeah.
Hui.
So my latest brisket knife.
Oh, I like there's a knife. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the brisket.
Yeah, so it's an excuse.
Wait, wouldn't you bring me about that brisket? I would have loved to come over and see that knife cook carve that brisket. Oh, that's a sick handle.
Yeah, I went to a knife show, got some cool handles. I'm like, what can I do with it? I'm like, I like brisket.
I want to share that online. A brisket knife. I'm going to share that online as if you don't mind me doing that.
Yeah, I got to get it.
She said Alan's not watching. Don't worry. She's got rid of the bin. She knew it was a waste of money.
Oh, this brisket knife is close enough. You could almost class it as a machete, but better made. And
it's like a freaking machete. I like it.
It's long. Like I've got a couple of photos with brisket. I haven't quite finished it with my name on it, but
how was the brisket?
The brisket could have been better. It was good, but I think I could have,
It wasn't the nice fight. The knife was better than the brisket on the day, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I let it dry out too much. I should have put a bit more in it, but yeah, makes me want to get a smoker.
Yeah,
like a friend of ours, but I don't do it enough to justify it just yet. But yeah, mate, it's on the list. It's on the list,
not in this house. I'm not getting another outdoor cooking. I already got a pizza oven, 3 barbecues. I've had enough. But I had a smoke. Remember, I had the offset smoker. I made some good food with that, but I sold that for how much I got it for, and the person that bought it off me complained they don't use it and wanted to sell it back to me. And I told them, it's your problem.
I sold it. Is that your problem? Yeah,
it's your marketplace find, and that was my marketplace sell. Happen to be friends. Well, tough.
Yeah, a quick look at marketplace. I'm seeing them pretty cheap, and it's like I could justify spending that.
I want to get a pellet smoker.
Yeah, you can find them for $50.
I know. I want a good electric pellet smoker because I've had the offset ones, and it takes too long to
Yeah, okay.
You have to be really be home and really onto the fire, whereas a pellet smoker, you just set it, put the pellets in, let it do its thing.
Call it a day. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I love about the Weber. I got the baby Q. I didn't get it. let's be honest, my partner got it for a steal of like $80
Yeah,
for the barbecue, the gas bottle, stand, everything.
that was a bargain. That's when I went and bought mine as well. I sold my Ziggy for a baby Q, and we modified it a little bit, and she goes.
What I find hilarious is when I borrowed your Ziggy, and I'm like, oh, this is what I want, a barbecue with a lid, you know, because I had a barbecue on an open stove grill,
Yeah,
you know, with a plate, and then it rained. I had to run out of the rain. There was nothing I could do because
Yeah.
I didn't have an awning. I'm like, I need a barbecue with a lid. So I borrowed your Ziggy. I'm like, this
Yeah.
thing's amazing.
Yeah.
I brought a Weber. Well, I was looking at Webercues, and the one I was looking at was sold.
Yeah.
Turns out my partner brought it for me. So, and it came with everything, like the gas bottle, stand, everything. And yeah, then you borrowed. No, you saw it or you borrowed
I
it?
saw it and I got
You
excited.
saw
and I
it.
bought one too.
And you brought one, and then
I saw my Ziggy, bought that one. Pretty much had and did the same thing. We cleaned it up and fixed the.
yeah, we took it camping.
Gas-
It didn't run as good as I knew it could, and I
You
went
pulled it apart while we were camping.
because
Why not?
I'm set up to do that. Yeah.
It's what your car's set up to do. Back to the Swiss Army knife.
Well, it's a work car slash four-wheel drive. I mean, that's why it's got recovery gear. You know, it's got my cheap tools in it. So
And you bought your King's awning with leftover copper.
doing a
You
demolition.
improvise, yeah. But the bracketry you made on that was unreal. That was solid.
Yeah, well, it's a fiberglass canopy without a rear bar, and
And just to recap,
I have a welder, so I
what's your
can.
car? You got a 2011 Holden Colorado.
Yeah, it does all right for me.
It does.
But
But the bracketry you made on that King's awning to work from the from your fiberglass canopy to go around, like
I've
it
also
was
made.
solid. It was not moving anywhere in any of that corrugations we were on.
I also made the roof rack because I can't justify the
Exactly.
cost.
But 2 years ago, that roof rack was sliding around like a pork chop, and now this
Yeah,
time it's
it was
solid.
just-
It's
it was
more
just-
solid than
It was the same bracketry. I just didn't have braces on the brackets to the roof.
Yeah.
All I did was change that.
But the joys of actually knowing how to weld and do that, or in my case, knowing someone like yourself, who we built trailers together and did that. You know, I have a vision, you do it, and we did the bull bar. We've done heaps of stuff.
Yeah, well, welding's. I don't know. Again, like, what do you like? I just watch YouTube. I got a friend who was a welder.
Yeah,
And then having a go. Like, my
It's-
welds are
it's-
pretty good by some standards, but at the same time, I always want better. I'm not perfect.
no. But it's the thing. Like a lot of the YouTube channels are either showing people like, okay, full drive 24/7. You got the guys that do that. They weld.
Yeah,
With
Sean
scrap.
knows welds. I mean, I love the guy, but
Yeah, but like a lot,
he's not
the
advertising.
concept of actually just giving it a go with some scrap metal versus buying that $300 bracketry, which I've done and
Mhm.
sold and got rid of. But yeah, it's funny just watching yourself, like, build that bracketry up with what you had and what comes with factory from those awnings is just two different things. And
Mhm.
and those our 270 awnings are only as strong as what it's been bolted to. Those
Yeah.
awnings can have 3 arms, legs, it's tied down, but if the bracketry to the car and the car to the bracket or the what's it called, the platform or
Mhm.
to the car
If,
is
if,
not
the, if the
bolted on.
platform's no good, yeah. What's the point of the brackets? Being 10 mil, whatever, you know.
My Rhino rack is not that strong. Like my awning's probably stronger than the awning. I mean the Rhino
The
rack.
rack, yeah.
But that's the car set up for now. But it works. I just tied
Yeah,
it.
it works, yeah.
And it's strong. So I've got the Bush Company awning, you've got the King's awning, and
Mm-hmm.
we worked out that it's just what bracketry and how it's bolted to the car is more important than the actual awning itself sometimes.
Yeah, I just love I love the freestanding. Like, mine's a Kings, may not be top of the line, but it's so
works.
easy just to unzip it, swing it open. I use it for work. I mean, I set up out of the back of that thing.
Yeah, you're saying you set up for work and you actually work out of your toolbox with the awning open in the,
Yeah,
whether
I
it be in the
saw-
sun and weather to do your job.
Yeah, just, set up to be, like, do a bit of maintenance at work in the yard. And yeah, with the awning there, I've got the speaker going, I've got the battery system, I've got the fridge.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all set up, and so much better than, my old rollout, 2.5 meter side awning,
Which are a pain in the ass to set up.
which is a pain in the ass to set up. That's why I never used it.
Yeah.
It was just too much hassle.
On your setup and my setup, I think going away camping summer or winter, I still think the most important if you're gonna spend money modifying your car other than suspension, tires, and all that shit, is I think a second battery system with a fridge is probably one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I set mine up, for sort of weekends away, but it doubles for work. If I'm working out of my car for that day or whatever, or
You got your lunch and drinks in the car.
I've got my drinks in the car.
Yeah.
I even like the idea of I've got cold stuff to take home from the shopping, throw it in the fridge.
Like I'm going to set up a battery box in my company car. I've got a Ford Ranger company car with a decent awning on it. I mean, waterproof tonneau cover, and I'm just going to put a battery box in there with a small fridge so I can carry drinks and
Run your fridge properly.
Run the fridge properly and have food in there because, it's expensive to buy lunch every day. It's not healthy as well. But having that, especially, if you're on the road and where I work, you got some cool butchers, you can stop by a butcher, get some
pick up meat during the day and just,
And well, that's the Prado. That's why the Prado with the work car was great because I had everything in there. Lunch set up, everything. Work car, you got to put I got the Engel, chill box, ice box. But you still got to put something cold in there. And it's always soggy or it's not always 100% cold, especially if you're carrying stuff that is I wouldn't carry chicken in there. If I bought raw chicken to bring home, and I wouldn't do it.
If you set up, you do the old water bottle trick, freeze them, but you're not doing that just while you're at work during the week.
No. So that's I still think that's probably one of the best things you can put in your car, even if it's an auto doing it. I think that's the best investment if you're looking at keeping the car. If not, for a few years, it's the handiest thing to have.
Yeah, it's expensive, and it's getting cheaper, but
it's cheaper than what it was when I did it, possibly.
Yeah, I did mine relatively cheap, but at the same time, it's still over 1,000. Not all at once, but
well, you got the DC from the main battery to your lithium battery in between the charger.
It's now lithium, but it was AGM.
You evolved it.
I got the right one, new lithium battery, and then solar set up to that just to look after while the car's off, and
and then that works because nothing worse than having ice. You're pulling out your steak or salsos, and they're all soggy from the esky water.
Or you end of your trip, you take them home, they're saturated. Now you can't use them because they're waterlogged, and you just go, well, that's a waste of meat. Whatever else you brought.
I had the leftover meat from our trip, and we either dispersed it between the two of us, or in this case, this time we forgot, and I had meat to cook that night for dinner or on the next night.
Yeah,
it's just like being in the fridge at home.
Exactly. It doesn't feel wasted after the trip. It's still good. I'll use it when I get home.
So definitely look into that if you're setting up your car. Even friends of ours are doing a trip. I would have put a second battery in with the fridge just to have it. Drinks in the car, especially traveling in the heat, or when you stop or something, you can charge your phones, charge all your devices and stuff whilst you're stationary, especially if you're camping in a non-powered site, because not every site has power. It's just the way, it's just a good way to look at it, I think.
Yeah, you get batteries pretty cheap now. You can get everything sort of set up relatively cheap, and if that's what you're doing,
But out of your setup, what's 2 items you add to it after doing a few trips and work and stuff? Or what are 2 items you would get rid of? Not the whippersnipper, keep the whippersnipper. But
depends on the trip, the whippersnipper. You plan for your trip. It depends on the room. A boys' trip, it's relatively light. It's just a slab of beer, isn't it? No swag, nothing. No.
We didn't drink that much this trip. I had 1 beer, I think, the whole trip. You had a couple of drinks.
At the end of the day, we're not the kind to drink and drive. It's just, to sit by the fire, have a drink and go, it's been a good day.
We also had stuff to do after that long weekend, we family commitments and work commitments. Traveling in June's not the easiest time to travel, and sometimes when you're drinking, you can drink too much and it just sparks everything else up that's going in your head and spiral out of control, or you just have a couple and in our case fall asleep and go, fuck it, we're asleep, might as well just brush our teeth and call it a night.
Exactly. I'm an old man. I don't like to drink too much anyway.
41. But it's funny how that trip evolves. But back to the question, I guess. What would be 2 things you add to your trip from the last few and not get or make your car a bit lighter, not having to carry?
Oh, well, my radio's playing up. I need to upgrade that. That's been in the car since I got it.
At least you had your handheld this time.
I had the handheld, and I sort of knew when you're quiet that probably that you're talking. So I need to switch my radio back off and back on.
You really turned it off because you were just like, shut up.
Handhelds come in handy for obviously, if I need to get out and spot. It's always good to have them.
But it's also good to have, like, I've been carrying the handheld. Say the handheld's handy to have. Say you're on a convoy with your friends or yourself. Having the handheld on channel 40 is also handy to have if you're on the highway.
Yeah, I've done that for the trip up. To have the handheld on 40 just to have an ear out.
Because sometimes you get the truck saying don't. The Monash is blocked or something.
I haven't heard it yet, but it's there if they're on the radio with that sort of information. If you got it.
Well, you definitely know when you're on the Princess Highway again past Pakenham because, the drivers get a bit crazier and it's a very multicultural part of town racing to the city and you're just sitting there chilled up going home and then, you got the bloody express train cars coming through at 110k an hour weaving through traffic literally and you're just like, really? Like, come on.
Yeah, but that's a small part of our trip. I mean, if we leave early, the local traffic is not really an issue of our weekends.
No, you just want to get out of and get home because you get away from those people for a few days and you get back and it's just like, oh, yep, I'm home.
Yeah, we head back in more traffic than we head out in most of the time and it's just, just cruise through this, get home, it's not an issue.
But you wouldn't really have to, like, other than replacing a radio that's not working, you don't really have to get rid of anything really because we had everything we needed on the trip. Really.
I've probably got more than I need, but at the same time, my car's not just to go away with. My car's a work car.
Yeah, but you carry everything.
I have tools in it that I may not need for a weekend away, but then again, I mean, I still have a memory of a Paradise Valley trip where we destroyed a few gazebos in high winds.
Yeah, but that was a freak windstorm.
It was a freak windstorm, but I mean, it happened.
You had your angle grinder.
I had my angle grinder because it's my work car.
Yeah, exactly. But it came in handy cutting up.
It came in handy
because we were able to throw it. Dispose of.
We were allowed to put away the gazebos.
Spinifex, not King's Gorning, by the way, and it was not their fault.
I think it might have been a King's, but
it was a Spinifex.
It was a Spinifex, yeah. I thought we rode off a 6x3 Kings as well.
No,
I thought we rode off.
We
rode off
two.
It
was Ben's 6x3 Spinifex, and I think it was
6x3 was a Kings. Our other mates, Gemma and theirs was a Spinifex.
Yeah,
we rode off 2 to 3 awnings.
Ours survived. Yours King survived. My
King survives, but that was set up with the hubs off it. I think it helped with the wind, but yeah.
But I screwed mine down with all the cables, everything.
Yeah, but yeah, like I mean, I have that because I'm a metal guy. I like cutting stuff up. But I still remember my friend like, "Did you casually carry a grinder?" I said, "Oh, not casually. I carry it for work."
Casual, it's just
it came in handy.
Exactly.
I've got my impact drivers, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. They come in handy.
No, impact drivers always come in handy.
Yeah, wheels. I mean, broken bolts on things.
Yeah.
It's just, like, I'm like, I'll leave them in just in case. And so, yeah, like I say, I'm sort of over set up, but I don't really change it for work. I just throw in the swag, throw in some food, whippersnipper, a chainsaw, depends on the weekend. And then I'm away. I'm pretty easy going for that, chair. Other than that, I take the chair on that out, but actually it's in there at the moment just in case, but additions. I don't know. I think I've evolved it over time. I mean, I've got the light on the what do you call it? The back of the car. That changed from wanting a light over a barbecue off the tailgate.
Yeah, I remember that. And that worked out well.
We didn't need it this trip because of the way it was set up. But, I've got the 270 awning to go over the top of that. Barbecue to sit there with a light. I've evolved it to a point where I'm pretty happy I wouldn't add or take away too much from it.
Would you actually do the lights? Would you add? Remember how I showed you I did the hardcore lights to my awning?
Yes.
They're permanent. Would you do that?
Yeah, that would be on my list.
Because that was freaking handy this trip. And the beauty of it is I made it so you don't have to have all 4 bars on at the same time. I had like say over the fridge area and swag area on rather than having all 4 on because it was extremely bright.
Yeah, well, I've got the light on the back of the thing. I suppose I could have the 2 separate lights.
Yeah.
One directly down, one for the all 4, awning arms, 3 arms.
I think one thing I'd add is the tool roll with the small tool bag. I used to have one, but my camp toilet leaked into my old tool bag. I had an incident where I didn't screw the lid on properly, and the tool bag was on behind the toilet, and we had to escape camp because it was 100-knot winds coming through. It was literally a storm. We had to pack up in 20 seconds in 5 minutes in a storm, and I forgot to screen the toilet properly, and all the shit, some of the shit, dripped into the tool bag, and I couldn't look at the tool bag anymore. As much as it just, I had to throw it out. I had never replaced it. And that's one thing I regret not doing is not having a tool bag again like that, because it's easy just to throw, small set of sockets, drill, whatever, to have there at all times, because you just never know when you need it. And there's been moments like where you pulled over to fix a fuse if you didn't have any tools to fix your fuse that time to get the radio going.
Yeah.
Not that it was life or death, but it was there to do.
Yeah, well, I think my lights were connected to that. I didn't have them, not an issue. But yeah, that's what I loved. Again, evolution. Like I had a king's bag of tools where I've got spanners, sockets, screwdrivers, everything in the one bag.
Yeah.
So I evolved it to a tool roll where it's like spanners in one point, screwdrivers in the other, clamps in the other, pliers in the other. So I can know in this bag I'm likely to find my 10mm.
But then that comes down to planning a trip between us two, or if other friends want to come one day, and we do invite them, and it's up to them to say yes sometimes. But it's you message me, hey, do you want me to bring my barbecue and you bring your stove? Yes.
Yes.
You bring your compressor and your tools? Yes. Cool. I'll bring this, you bring that. Done. 2 chainsaws is always handy to have them one, I think. I've learned.
Yeah. Well,
like both of us cutting at the same time, shorten it so we can get the fire going because it was getting dark.
If we went on a track that hasn't been done in a while, a few trees, I don't know how long your battery would last. My petrol chainsaw.
Your fuel lasts as long as fuel you carry.
Yeah.
Like you could always take it out of the whipper stripper if you needed to.
Yours is great for the firewood, like chopping stuff up. We didn't need it too much.
No.
But I can imagine if we had a big tree down in front of us in a track and we had to get through there for whatever reason, if your chainsaw ran out, we've got to wait, charge time. I can charge it, but at the same time, mine, it's just like, all right, fill it up with fuel, we're off to go again. Yeah,
but that's the thing, like, you don't travel with someone, like, if my chainsaw's, it's a steel battery chainsaw, it's a 12, I think it's a 12-inch bar, I don't know.
Yeah, it's on the shorter side, I guess.
Yeah, but
it's great for camp.
Oh,
firewood.
Yeah, it's great. It serves that purpose, firewood,
and
a bit of domestic use, cutting down a few little trees here and there. But yeah, carrying that, I'll never regret. I think the tool bag would probably be the thing I'd add to my list for next time. Last time I didn't travel with 20 litres of water, and this time I did, and it came in bloody handy to wash up. I had that tap thing that... Yeah, you've got a sick tap. Yeah, that'd be something I'd be interested in. I do like the electric tap. You got that connected. That on tap that just screws onto the jerry can. Yeah, like wash hands, fill the buckets. Especially with the kids, you just it's easy to wash your hands. Yeah. Let's go down that topic of we're talking about lads.
2-year-old boy, definitely.
They press the button. Whoa!
I just mean he's probably getting dirty on every aspect he can.
I remember taking my two for the first time. We got out of the car, and the first thing they did is when they jumped out of the car was jump into a puddle. I think we went through 3 sets of clothes in the first hour of a 3-day trip. I'm like, fuck, we got no clothes for the rest of the time.
Yeah,
but we made it work. But that's something I probably if I saw that for the first time I'd get is because it was just handy to have on the jerry. But yeah, that's about it. One person carrying organises dinner, the other one's making fire. Like it's good to do teamwork like that. I think
that's the way I've always worked. I mean, a few trips we've done. My swag was I call it my coffin swag. It was just bigger than me.
Yeah,
it's a 2-minute rollout setup, and I'm done. I'm like, all right, you always set up your swags. I'm going to get the fire going. So by the time it's dinner time, the
Yeah.
fire's actually good and ready to go. I'll roll my swag in the 2 minutes it takes, and I'm good to go on that.
I'm not going down that roof top 10 stage. I'm not spending $3,000 on something you do once, 3-4 times a year. I think
I don't camp enough to justify that, and I don't want the roof, the top heavy weight,
the
or
weight.
the rest of it.
Someone goes, "Oh, just get a rooftop tent." I'm like, I don't want 100 kilos on my roof.
I don't
Like, the
50
car's
odd,
ready.
but yeah.
Well, we weighed our cars, remember?
Yeah. Well, my car, like I say, I've got a roof rack. I've got a ladder on it. I do work out of my car.
Yeah.
Ladder comes in handy.
But how heavy were our car? Like I think I was pretty healthy on. I was like 2,800 kilos.
I was about the same. I think
Yeah.
it was a difference of 2,820 and 2,830 or something like that.
I took a photo of it, to be honest, when we went through that. So what we did was went to the weigh bridge on the Princess Highway where trucks used to weigh their cars, and we just thought, out of curiosity, why don't we pull in and weigh our cars on the way home? I was 2,860.
Yeah, I might have been 2,830. It wasn't hundreds of difference. It was tens of difference.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're going through your GVM, like if you're like, I think it was 2,990 with the kids, tent, everything.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, the Prado is 150. The Prado 150 GVM is 2,990 kilos.
Okay.
That's with full tank of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I went this trip, I was 2,860. So all that
At
takes
the end
is
of the trip, if with you the full tank on the Prado, 130, whatever it is, that would have been just over.
well, I had half a tank then.
Okay, so just
75 kilos. So I would have had
Yeah.
another 75 kilos. So call it 2,790.
Mhm.
But if I had the kids, Aaron in the car, loaded up with the tent, more, more food left over, I would have been just on. That's just bull bar, wheels, suspension, bit of underbody protection,
yeah,
roof rack, and awning. Add a 30-kilo tent to that. Add some clothes and stuff to that. Adds up.
mm-hmm.
So people don't understand how they go. Like GVM upgrades are good, but wow, we're down a different rabbit hole. But like you were under your GVM.
Yeah, but also the rooftop tent is a wind resistant,
And people carry them all the time on their roofs.
Yeah,
How
like a
many
mate
hei-
of mine said, basically his fuel consumption is through the roof.
Yeah.
By comparison to not having it on, because it's
You got Elbow wanted to spend $20 million to tell us to take our roof racks off only a few months ago. Now they don't really care. It's funny because then you see people with rooftop tents and clearly they're doing 3-4 litres, 100 over just to
Yeah.
have it. In our cases, we couldn't put it on because we have to go on the ground car parks to work. So sometimes,
Yeah, well, I also like
You'd
being
be
under the
smacking
2.1 limit, so I can get under, most underground car parks and all the rest of it.
yeah, I'm on just on. I think my awning nicks it a little bit
yeah.
when I go under because it's set up a bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not hard. Like people don't. There's all these things on YouTube and people spruiking on Instagram. Add this, add this, add that. But far out, the weight adds up fast, very fast.
Yeah, I know I've got a lot of weight in the back of my car. Like I say, it's set up for work and camp. So I've got recovery gear all the time. I've got
Yeah.
a bunch of tools all the time. I've got the fridge all the time.
Yeah,
And then whatever else in there, in the back of it.
yeah. So like when I travelled with the trailer, it was easy because you used to load up the trailer. But then last year I travelled with no trailer, put everything on the roof, and actually it was actually really good. If anything, I'll probably get rid of the 4-kilo gas bottle and get a little 2-kilo.
Okay.
Just to make it lighter, resistant, and less weight on the roof. But the thing is, the 4-kilo or 3.7, you want to be technical, you can go to Bunnings and do a swap and go, and it works with the barbecue, the stove, everything. Whereas the 2-kilo, you got to go to BCF, get Old Mate to fill it up.
Yeah, okay.
It's a
Is
pain
that
in
the
the
green
arse.
bottle?
Yeah, like a little blue or green bottle, whatever. Yeah, but
You-
they're smaller. They are.
You can fill them up off a 9-kilo bottle.
You can. I heard that.
I may have done that.
I bet you have. But the other thing is, my 4-kilo bottle is currently in my barbecue because I ran out of gas of the 2 9-kilos because I haven't gone to Bunnings. So that's why the pros sort of outweigh just having that bigger bottle.
Yeah, I've got the 4-kilo whatever there and a couple of 9 kilos, because I get them from job sites. But Yeah, I sort of looked at the 4 kilo to take just for that, but then yeah, I was trying to jimmy up a way to get a 2 kilo to run a Weber, but haven't found the right connections.
And that's the thing. That's why the 4 kilo works.
Yeah.
So I phase that out, and I usually use those little propane canister things for the stove because it's just easier. The gas is good to have as a spare if it's way too cold for the propane.
Mm-hmm.
The gas actually burns, whereas the propane bottles freeze in the really cold. So I have both fittings. Yeah. I've still got both fittings for that.
Yeah.
And when you borrowed my stove, I forgot to give you that fitting, so you had the canister, which still worked out well.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Always make it work.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Where's next? I know we're looking. The tracks don't open in November until they don't open until after Cup weekend. Yeah,
I've got the brother-in-law out. Whereas Jerapit out past Grampians, and it sort of put the Grampians on the list.
We were just watching Aussie Arvos at the
and Aussie Arvos helped push me towards like, all right, let's do an Aussie, the Grampians sort of trip. Maybe just my partner and I, or whoever else. I think I've got Jameson sort of talked about for Christmas with the family.
That'd be beautiful. I've been Jameson is really nice because you can go up Eildon Big River Road. We've been up Big River before.
Yeah,
you can go up you go up Big River Road from Jameson. You can go up Newman's Track where we go to Craig's Hut. Not Craig's Hut. Mount Terrible.
Yeah.
We've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I want to go Woods. I love to try that Woods Point area.
We're gonna do Blue Rag at Dargo. I've got to do Dargo for my partner actually.
Blue Rag is definitely actually Blue Rag.
Yeah.
Blue Rag is probably my number one track I've always wanted to do. I'm sick of watching people doing it. I want to do it, and I think that's full season track, but you don't want to go on the off season too much.
Yeah, well, Billy Goats we did.
Billy Goats was sick. That's still one of the best tracks we've ever done. My personal favourite.
Yeah, that was a bit of stress for us in sort of relatively stockish rigs. Well, not overly done rigs, but yeah.
I still think the track we did from Huggett's Crossing to where we camped is probably one of the best tracks I've done. That was...
That steep hill that you're worried about that you had to do in front of you? Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun, I'll admit. You went first.
You know it's steep when the locals like, oh, that's a steep track. You're like, oh, okay.
You know it's steep when you know it's steep when you chain it. You bloody necklace chains like out in the air when you're going down the hill. You're like, oh shit, she's steep. That was good fun, but
good conditions for it. It wasn't anything too sketchy. I'm like, yeah, no, I got this, and yeah.
But we've done Bindery Falls, we've done all that area, but there's other parts like north of Craig's Hut that I want to try out there one day. There's a few, I don't know. I forgot. There's a few Aussie Arvos did it, like a few huts up there and stuff like that you can go to. But I always want to do Mitchell River and also around the Snowy area, Snowy region, Kosciuszko, around that area. That's a one massive one I want to tick. Even camping on the Murray. I know it's not full driving that much there, but I haven't been in the Murray in years, and it's beautiful there. When I drive for work, like I was at Yarrawonga, and it was absolutely beautiful there.
Yeah, I've been on the Murray a couple of times. The boss had a caravan up that way, and I go up there and hang out with all his friends who own caravans up that way. They're a different level of money than I've got, but yeah.
But then there's always Fraser. Actually, if anywhere I want to go out in South Australia to Robe, drive on the beaches there. I've never done that before. Yeah,
I've done. Where's my Hardy? Out McLean way, I think it was. I had my courier, and I was driving down the beaches, and that was. It's a different terrain. You drive along, it's fine. Traction builds up, stops, builds up, stops.
But I feel like they're going to close that one day.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be,
Didn't you do some sand driving?
Oh, Sandy Point. That was Sandy Point out in towards Wilson Fromway.
Yeah, okay.
Coast. That's the only beach you're legally allowed to drive to in Victoria.
Yeah, in Victoria, yeah.
But that was pretty cool. That was just a little bit of it. It was more fun just to say, my car's been on the beach for the first time. But to go out Roadway, that looks pretty cool. It looks a bit cooked in the crowd sometimes, but
Yeah. Yeah, I forget the beach. 90 Mile Beach. I can't remember what beach it was.
There's one.
It was a legal beach because there's other people on there, right?
Well, there's a beach in 90 Mile Beach where you're like, there's a campsite. Apparently, you have to drive along the beach to get there, but you're not legally able to do it. But people just do it. It's just frowned upon rather than, local Karen going out on their local Facebook page to say, registration number, AGS HUD was out there, kicking it on like it was, crazy.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's a little part apparently that people go from the beach up to go to a campsite where it's frowned upon, but, people sort of look the other way.
Yeah, that's strange. Why have that set up if that's the issue? Anyway, yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's set up a bit of a bastardized setup rather than say this is a known track. Put it this way: if you get bogged there and insurance see you there and your car stuff's up there, you're screwed because you're not on
not on new tracks. That's what it is.
No, but saying that, I guess we got your trip at Paradise Valley is probably locked in again this year. We'll probably go for a little bit of adventure.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going for an adventure again. You'll come.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There's not a lot to do for me just there.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And that's sort of give you guys a bit of a recap of what we've done. It's been a while and I'm probably got sick of hearing my voice by myself all the time. So it's good to have a guest in. And I've actually got 2 more lined up for the next few weeks. Sort of rebooted the show. I didn't want to just go on and talk about stuff just to fill space because the energy wasn't there. And yeah, you know what it's like. You just fill in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was glad that you come in and spent a Sunday over, had a couple of wines, had some wood-fire pizza I made the night before, and yeah, I appreciate your time, mate. And
yeah, thanks for having me.
That's all right. We'll have to recap our next adventures. If anyone has any questions or need bracketry made up or, want to know about a machete fetish, no, I'm joking.
It's not a fetish.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby, yeah.
Hit us up. My socials, the email info@gettingout.com.au. So thanks, everyone. You'll hear our voice a bit more frequent than you have in the past. Appreciate your patience, and everyone have a good day and night, whatever you're doing. Cheers.